Hello everyone and welcome to DBF1 and it's season 8. We are here for round number 4 of the season. We're at Canada and if you can't already tell, it is throwback week in Dive Bomb Sports. So we have the drivers running liveries from 2009 to 2016. We're currently watching Kai with his 2011 HRT setting his first lap of the qualifying session. So we'll quickly get the stream shared and then we will run through the championship order over the last few weeks. We've had 3 rounds, 2 race winners, loads of different drivers on the podium. We're excited to see what more the drivers have to offer this evening. As Scottish Gold leads the way, an 11.1. That is fairly quick from him. We'll see if that will stand. We imagine the likes of Casper, Bavessa and Jenga Boy will manage to beat that. As the stream is now shared, Kieran not running his livery as Jenga Boy, as mentioned previously, beats that with the medium compound 10.5, 6 tenths ahead of Jenga Boy, and obviously qualifying rule should be in effect. Lewis hasn't mentioned anything to me about the weather just yet, as he sets his first lap in qualifying, and Kai not setting sort of sector times you'd imagine. We'll watch Bavester, see what his run is looking like. Casper Klein has popped himself into third place with an 11.2. So we'll run through your top 10 in the driver's standings as Bavester finishes his lap. It's Casper leading the way, 68 points. He has a race win over Cam K. Mam, who's in second on 41. Bavester, the driver on screen, in third on 40. He's got a 1 point lead over Cam Rules on 39. You've got Jenga Boy on 36. Tech on 25. Jordan 24, who's not here tonight. Kai on 22. Deck, who's also not here tonight, on 19. And then Scottish Goat is on 16. That is your top 10. And for those that care about the constructors, the Mercedes duo lead the way 76. Red Bull close on their heels though on 74. Then you've got Audi 47, Cadillac 45, and Williams 37. That is your top 5 and top 10 in the championship order. Here is Bavesser, only 13th quickest. I think he must have invalidated there or doing 2 out laps. A lot of the drivers have been doing 2 out laps over the last few weeks. We have noticed in the qualifying. That seems to be the meta at the moment. Do 2 out laps, and that sets you up nicely for the tyre temperature, loses the fuel load. The fuel load for 2 runs, it sets you up quite big. I think here it's 4.6 fuel, and 4.6 laps of fuel, so it is a big amount. 5 laps to do your in lap, out lap, and then get your run done. You've got about a lap extra, so the drivers will want to wear down the fuel as much as possible. Calm on the mediums. He has joined Team Dive Bomb. Has calm rules and he's been very quick. He's got 2 podiums. He was gutted to miss out on the win last 2 weeks ago now, sorry, at Saudi Arabia by 17 thousandths of a second. Can he pick up provisional pole here around the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve? And that is a massive lockup on the front left coming into the hairpin there. He'll get on the battery. He's got a lot of work to do. He'll get a lovely toe off the Manor in front, does the 2016 Renault driver. We're on board now as he comes through the wall of champions wall to the right hand side. It is clean and it was nice and fast as well. He'll drain whatever battery he's got left. On the run up to the line, it's Calm Rules on the second row of the grid, ahead of Casper Klein by 2 thousandths of a second, and he'll be delighted with that, will come. And that is on the medium compounded tyres as Casper on the softs goes 3 tenths behind Jenga Boy. Casper Klein in his Cyber, looking beautiful, might I say. He was the season 7 Canadian Grand Prix winner. Lewis Craig won the season 6 Grand Prix. Ryan Berry won the season 5 Canadian Grand Prix, and then you had Luis won it in season 2, and then EFL 11 won the opening season's Canada. Lewis Craig not setting the world alight with that first sector time. Evil Dragon just improved his lap time. Is anyone else really on for a lap? I think Ross, who of course as you can see by his name is joined Team DB as well in the Manor 2016 Manor. He's tried his best to make it look like what it did back then when Pascal Wehrlein was driving the car. Long time ago, that 10 years ago now, incredible. It was that long ago. Car 84 now. Passes the Wall of Champions perfectly. He doesn't have as much battery as Cam did on the run up to the line, and it's 7th place for Ross. That is Tech 31, so he had a podium in Silverstone, 3rd place. I had the greatest name in dive bomb history, other than Damien Green Bean. The fat man picked up his podium. Evil Dragon not setting a lap time that looks sort of representable. Lewis Craig in his yellow and black, and he has gone for the 2016 Renault. The drivers are limited by what liveries they've got. Some of the drivers that play a game a bit more have more options, which is why their cars might look better than others. I have to say, Jenga Boy, we haven't seen it yet, but that Haas that he's got from 2016, absolutely beautiful. Daniel P. wheeling it as well. We'll have to get a look at him when he's out on track for his 2010 Renault. Looked beautiful as well. Lewis Craig, though, he's not done a bad job with that. And now, Sector 2, he's wanting to do a good job of that, and he's 7.5 times up, and this is exactly the sort of lap time Lewis Craig needs. This puts him around the likes of Daniel and Ross for P6, possibly P5 if he can find another couple of attempts in this final sector on Jessica Ball, who's in the top 5. She'll be happy with that. Lewis Craig, though, not a lot of battery to burn at this part of the track. That might cost him come at the start-finish line. Round the final corner he goes. It was a bit shaky. He's got a bit of battery, but not a lot to go with. And that is the front row of the grid from Lewis Craig. Oh, what a final sector that was. 1.5 gained. And he puts himself in between Jenga Boy and Casper Klein. And the man that hasn't really been in and around it this season, won in Season 6. He's right up there for the Canadian Grand Prix pole position. Only 3 tenths off Jenga Boy, who set that time in the mediums. Casper Klein, work to do for him. Daniel not quite as far around as Jessica Ball, who's running the 2012 Kimi Räikkönen Lotus that won many a Grand Prix. She's looking to do that tonight if possible. She's picking up around about 1.5 tenths through the second sector. And now 11 and then 12, kind of kinks, not really corners on the run down to turn 13 and 14. Has a lot more battery to burn than Lewis, but she's got a lot of time to gain in this final sector if she wants to mount a challenge to Lewis Craig in the front row of the grid. Round the final corner goes car number 8. She's got a lot more battery to burn. What will it be as she gets to the start-finish straight? Lost a bit of time, but 6th place. She'll be happy that she stayed there. Daniel up next in his 2010 Renault. That's absolutely beautiful, and it's only P7. Did find some time, but not an awful lot. And I do like Daniel P. on its 2010 Renault. It looks absolutely outstanding. Jake not finding any time. Kaya, we'll see. Is he finding time? Doesn't look like it. Daniel P. on it? No, he's not going for 2 runs. Jake's just starting his lap. So we'll go with Jake, who's gone for the Jules Bianchi 2014 Manor. It's wonderful from Jake to run that car. He's done the best he can to make it look like it. Up now to 8, 6 and 7, sorry, for Jake. Usually running in the Aston Martin, running in the Manor tonight in the throwback week, representing Jules Bianchi. Doing his absolute best to try and steal some points for Aston Martin, like Manor did on that day in Monaco. And if you offered Jake P9 right now, he'd absolutely take that in the Grand Prix. But it's all about this final sector now. What will it be? Can that get him ahead of his teammate who's 3 tenths down the road? He's got not much battery, but he's got the straight mode active. He's just hitting the 1 minute mark now. This will be close between him and his teammate. Avoid the Wall of Champions, and he's invalidated, so it won't matter anyway. Unlucky from Jake, he'll have to get in and go again. Should be plenty of time. Kaya now on the medium compounded tires, a bit shaky through 13 and 14 there. He's got no battery to play with, but what will it be for Kaya? A 4.5 tenth improvement gets him close to Jake. And you imagine if Kaya can get on the soft compound, should be fighting for around about 9th place there, and he is running the 2014 Sauber. Kaya, another member of the dive bomb team that was recently formed, but that's a good lap time from him on those medium compounds. Kai Not really setting a fast lap time at the moment, but what will it be here on the mediums? You'd imagine it'll be close. It's P4 in behind Casper and just ahead of Scottish Goat, who's still in 5th place. Fantastic from Scottish Goat at the moment. And Kai will be hoping to get on that front row if possible. But by his pace during the week, he'll be happy that he is up there now. Jenga Boy and Casper Klein, those are sort of your two for pole position. It's Casper who's a bit further round. He's 1.5 tenths improvement at the moment. Through turn 6 he goes. He'll get a second dose of the straight mode using the boost. And the regular Red Bull in the Sauber tonight, trying to channel prime Checo Perez and pick up a podium or possibly a win if he can. Checo was the tyre whisperer back in those days, and it's a purple sector 2, 2.5 tenths now. This is fighting for pole position, provisional pole position now. He probably won't get another go at this. This will be it for Casper. He's on the mediums as well, so that is him going for the medium start. Obviously, if he doesn't improve here and he invalidates or clips the wall, he's in danger of starting on the softs. It looks okay, and he should improve. Only second though, he doesn't improve enough to go ahead of Jenga Boy, and Jenga Boy goes even quicker, a 10.3 on the mediums, and Jenga Boy, in qualifying at least, has got the edge on Casper Klein, 4.5 tenths of a second, and that looks like the Haas, his provisional pole, won't get to go again. It should be him and Lewis Craig invalidated. He'll get in and get out. Kai won't get in and out. He's going to have to tyre save. He's improving. He's found just under 3 thousandths of a second there through the first sector. This is it for Kai. His last run. I don't think Casper and Jenga Boy are going to get back in. They might if they're very quick. Calm Rules is on a lap as well. We'll quickly check where he is. He's behind Kai. So we'll stick with Kai. See what he can do on his run, and he's found 3.5 tenths. So this is going to be around about Lewis and Casper Klein. He might, and he clips the wall there. Struggling with the multiplayer car. Now down the back straight, using the boosts that he's got. This is it for Kai. He's finding about 3.5 tenths. This is for the front row of the grid. It doesn't look like it's going to be quick enough to mount a challenge to Jenga. Oh, and he does! His provisional pole from Kai. What a final sector that was! What a final. He's stolen it by 20 thousandths of a second. He's absolutely stolen it. But Casper is going again and finding even more time. Is anyone further round? We'll quickly check. Calm doesn't improve his lap time. Bevesser has invalidated. Who's next up? Calm Rules. I think Calm is just starting a lap. Yep, Scottish Goat. It's not, yeah, it's Casper now. It is Casper on the run up to the line. He's next up to set a fast lap. This is it. This is it for him. This is all he's got. He's got so much battery, but the timing, we didn't see the split 2 time. And Casper's invalidated. Yeah, he's invalidated there. And that is him done. And Casper Klein might have actually gotten in the way of Scottish Goat, who doesn't find any time. And well, whether or not Casper held him up, I'm unsure. We'll try keep up the best we can now with who is on what laps. The top 3 are as you are. They're not going to be any higher than that. Here comes Calm Rules though, in 6th place at the moment, on the mediums. He's trying to get into the top 5 and start on the medium compound. It's green flags on the start-finish straight. What will it be for Calm? Only 6th fastest. Scottish Goat not going to be able to set a quick lap time. Jessica Ball. I think there's other people on the run up to the line. Jake finding time. Not enough time though. Jess goes 5th fastest on the softs. Professor's sort of the next driver up that's going to be looking at a quick lap time. No one else has improved. Casper's done. Professor goes fourth fastest, knocking Jess out of the top 5. Is anyone else on a quick lap? Daniel P. Wheelnet goes 6th, knocking Jess even further down. And Lewis Craig won't go any quicker. He's on the softs. I think his fastest on the mediums. That might be why. Tactical decision. Yeah, that's it for qualifying, unless Jake's not going quicker. Kai on pole then for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's Jenga Boy also on the front row. Then you've got Casper in 3rd, Professor 4th, Lewis Craig 5th, Daniel Puby on that 6th, Jessica Ball 7th, Scottish Goat 8th, Cam 9th, Ross 10th, Cam K-Mam 11th, Evil in 12th, Kaya 13th, Jake 14th, and Cam didn't set a lap time. He is out of this qualifying session. The top 4 will start on the medium compound. Lewis will have to start the Grand Prix on the softs. So, ignore what happens at the start here, because we're going to do the reset, and then we will have any grid penalties applied, and we will have a bit of a wee break, and then we will get going again. So I'll see you in a few moments. So we are back. The drivers have a few moments to put the setups back on, select the strategy, get the fuel loads in order. And then we have Baza in the chat. Welcome, Baza. Nice to see you again. Hopefully you can inspect the liveries on the formation lap and see if everyone is up to scratch and put the effort in. And this is the only race that will have the formation lap this season due to it being the throwback week. We want to run through all the liveries and see if I can guess them all correctly for those that didn't put their car in the channel, and a few have done that. And some have put it in, so some I will know off the top of my head. I think Casper has designed a couple of them for the guys helping them out, and he's done a good job in a lot of them. And I have to say, Jenga Boy at the moment, he's definitely got my favourite one from the photos posted in. That 2016 Haas, just clean and smooth. And Casper though, Casper Cyber's up there. I think that'll be your 2 for the voting. Daniel and his 2010 Renault might be sort of the 3rd. That will be your team voting. Obviously, the voting will affect the constructors, not the drivers' championship. And the voting has always been fair in the past when we've done this, so we hope that it will be fair again. And we've heard from the team radio that it is going to be dry all Grand Prix, and everyone in the top 5 starting on the medium, you would imagine. Daniel is in the top 5 because of Lewis's grid penalty. So Lewis gets free tyre choice, technically, but it's going to start in 7th. So he loses 2 places, but gets that option of free tyres, and that will probably help Lewis, actually. He'd probably prefer that. And then the top 4 all qualified on the medium anyway, so they are guaranteed to start in there. Maybe Daniel thinking, I'll start on the hard. Everyone behind me is a bit slower, other than Lewis. If I start on the hards, go long, and hope there's no early safety car, then you might have a great opportunity. And we've got the go-ahead at 52 UK time, so you got about 30 seconds before we get the formation lap underway. Fourth race of the season, though, 2nd in the championship, qualified 11th, so that puts the pressure on him to have a good result, Cam K-Mam. If he wants any chance at picking up some solid points, he's going to need a good start. Hope that a safety car or 2 are there, and there we go. We're on for the first ever formation lap this season. And the game is saying 2-stop strategy, and I do actually believe it will be a 1-stop. And we'll quickly check the tyres. The top 8 of 7 on the mediums. Lewis asked for tyre choices, still went on the softs. Cam, Ross, Evil on the hards, and other Cam is on the hards as well. So, Kai, pole position, he's got the 2011 HRT, absolutely beautiful. Jenga Boy, he has got the 2016 Haas, Haas's first ever livery, looks absolutely beautiful. Casper Klein, 2012 Sauber with a Chelsea-esque badge on the engine cover, looks wonderful there. Professor has got a McLaren from a year, I can't remember what year he said it was, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the McLarens. I will quickly confirm that. Daniel Pibiona, he has got the 2010 Renault, beautiful car that he has designed. Jess has actually got a beautiful livery as well, the 2012 Lotus. Looks absolutely wonderful. Lewis Craig, as I mentioned in the qualifying, he's got the 2016 Renault. Then you've got Cam Rules, who's got the 2016 Renault as well. A Scottish Goat has got the 2012 McLaren. That's what he's gone for. Ross has gone for the 2016 Manor and best he can. Evil Dragon is disqualified, and I'll try figure out what car he's got in the grid. I'm pretty sure he's designed it as well. We've got the 2009 Renault from him, Cam. This is another one that's actually really nice. I think Cam might get a couple of votes there. And Cam has New Zealand Cam. He has the 2013 Zebra test livery that they had. Kaya's got the 2014 Sauber, and Jake, as obviously mentioned, has the Jules Bianchi Manor. Evil Dragon has popped on. Look at Kai, the way he has gone on the grid. And Baza approves of Casper Sauber. We're on the grid though, we can't see how many lights are on, but we can hear them on the stream. It's lights out and away we go for the Canadian Grand Prix, and Kai has got a wonderful start, and so has Casper. Jengaboy has bogged down and is already under pressure from his teammate in the Mercedes in the back, but he's managed to hang on to P3 at the moment. He'll push his teammate wide. That might allow Lewis, who got a fast start on those softs, up the grid as well. And Lewis Craig already up into 4th, but he's side by side with Bevesser into 5. What a start from Lewis Craig. Got past Jess, who's already down to 12th. And then Daniel P. Wheeler, he got past ASAP on those softs. That is why he wanted to start on the soft compound tire. Can he mount a challenge to the top guys and hope for a safety car early on? Kai got away perfectly off the start. Casper got away well as well. Jengaboy bogged down in the second phase. So all that hard work to get ahead of Casper gone, and he'll try his hardest to stay ahead. We have the tyre. We know what tyres everyone's on. The top 4. And there goes Lewis Craig on Bevesser now. We're on board with Bevesser as he tries to defend from Lewis Craig, who's now got Daniel P. Wheelnut under pressure, and everyone's just in a banana car. Everyone is running the Renault in the midfield, and we've got a VSC. Will that indicate some early stops? Lewis Craig might risk it here on the soft compound. Hards won't go the distance, but track position for Lewis is what he would like. Couple of drivers in the pits after some damage. I do love Cam's 2009 Renault. Front wing change though. And that is us back underway racing mode, and Lewis Craig has pipped his way past Bevesser, caught Bevesser sleeping on the restart. And the season 6 runner-up is already up into 4th place after starting in P7, and he's looking at Jengaboy, and they guys have had some battles in the past. Jengaboy and Lewis Craig. Mexico season 6 was the best one, and he's thinking, can I sneak past? It might only be in the early phases of the Grand Prix, but he's wanting to make the moves and enjoy the beginning laps of this race. Jengaboy doing what he can to stick with Casper Klein, and with Casper Klein ahead, he might just be able to mount a challenge to Lewis Craig. Cam, F1, is doing a good job in 9th place. He's picked up 6 places off the start. That's good from him. Now, we're on the back straight. Casper now looking to make a move, but you've also got Jengaboy looking to make a move, and Lewis Craig maybe looking to defend, and that'll turn to attack. There's a bit of a moment through the back straight, but using the battery he has. He's got about half the battery Jengaboy has though, but that might allow Lewis Craig to make a move early on, and Cam on the hards sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap number 3. But it's still Kai that leads the way at the moment in time. Picked up multiple wins last season. There goes Jengaboy on Casper, caught Casper sleeping into 6 and 7, but Casper was able to come back, and now the two that fought for the championship last season just unable to get through there together. Casper just maybe caught a bit off guard, but then managed to recover it and stay behind, and now is looking to go ahead into the hairpin. He goes, he brakes very late on Kai. Kai seen it coming and moved out the way, but he's going to try down the back straight and use whatever he's got in that HRT. It might not be much, but it's enough to stay ahead of Casper Klein. And Bevesser now ahead of Lewis Craig. Are the soft compound tires starting to wear off for Lewis? But here we go, round number 2 between Casper and Kieran. They've had a battle over the course of season 7 many a time. And it's Kai that manages to hang on. You've got Jengaboy that took the opportunity but wasn't able to seal the deal. And now Bevesser, who got the deal done on Lewis, might be looking to try and extend his race win streak of 1 to 2. And Lewis Craig gets back past and up into 3rd. Jengaboy's down the order. He's had a moment. I looked away for just a moment, and Jengaboy is down into 9th place, and now Bevesser is up past Lewis Craig into 3rd. Lewis Craig's got no battery here at this point in the track. Oh, and Bevesser broke. Lewis Craig had to brake, and then Daniel P. Wheelnut went into the back of Lewis Craig. Accidental lead change up front, possibly. Casper's got so much battery, but so does Keenan, but he doesn't have the boost. That's the problem. He's got no boost mode. He's defenseless down the back straight here. If Casper can get ahead, he should be ahead into the final chicane, and he is. Cam is up into fourth. Lewis Craig is coming into the pits, and Scottish Goat's in the wall, and so's Ross too. Dive bomb team members in the wall. Jenga Boy stays out. He's got Jessica all over the back of him, chasing him down, trying to get past up into 6th place. What has happened on these last few laps? Lewis Craig is in service and on the medium, so this is a 2-stop strategy for Lewis Craig. So it's Casper Klein that leads from Kai. That gap's about 1 second already. If Kai loses the boost, this Grand Prix is basically done without a safety car. Bavessa in third, trying his best to get into the boost. Cam started in 13th place and is up into 4th by lap 5. He's avoided all the drama, and if he started near the front of the grid, could he have challenged Casper for the lead? It's not over though between the top two. Bavessa's involved and Cam is well and truly involved here. Daniel P. on that 2 seconds adrift, looking good at the moment for him if he can get them mediums to around about lap 15 to lap 17 to switch to hard. He should be free to do the 1-stop. Jessica Ball and Jenga Boy. Jenga Boy's gotten overtaken by Jess, and he's now into the pits, and I think that is him retiring from the session, and it is. So, I missed it. It is on the stream, but I missed what happened. And Lewis Craig picks up a 3-second time penalty. Disaster for him. Cam K is running half a front wing. He's not got the wing attached to the front of his Renault, but it is floating in front of his Renault. Whatever works in these new regulations, I suppose. Cam has passed Bavessa there in the start of the second sector. He's now in the podium hunt, and he's chasing the top two. Can he be in for a win here? 13th to 1st. I can't remember the last time something like that happened in Dive Bomb, where you started a lot down the grid, far down the grid, and came back for a win. And we'll have to check that later on in the night. Bit of a scrap going on between 3 Dive Bomb members. Lewis got past Scottish Goat, and he's now going to get past Ross, which is Tech 31 Racing. Different strategies. And Lewis Craig ahead, and he's now chasing down Kaya, who's doing a good job here in 8th place. He's quite far back on Jake, but he's on for, well, he's got points basically. If he can get to lap 17, he's got points because Jenga Boy is 15th. Just a case of getting to lap 17 now and you score a championship point. But Kaya will be wanting more than that, and at the moment he's got Lewis Craig chasing him, but he's got the likes of Ross and Scottish Goat, Evil, Cam Rules, who's down the order, Cam K, and Lewis Craig and Kaya battling away. You've got 4 Dive Bomb members in a row there. You got Kaya, you got Lewis, and you got Ross, and you got Scottish Goat. They're battling away. And Kaya, I mean, if he's going for a 1-stop, then he's kind of battling Lewis in a way, because Lewis is 2-stopping. So it is critical for Kaya's race to try and keep him behind, but keep it clean at least, and Lewis won't be happy. But in terms of Kaya's 1-stop, if that's what he's doing, he needs to do this to Lewis, because Lewis is sort of involved now with these guys with a 2-stop, banging wheels through the hairpin, and it's not been dirty, but it's not been the cleanest of laps from the pair of them, and Ross now is going to look for a bit of action on the pair. And Lewis goes very defensive on Kaya. And Ross gets ahead of the pair of them, and Lewis stays ahead on Kaya there, just about. Fantastic Grand Prix driving from the 3 of them. Ross is ahead now. Lewis is trying to get past Ross, but he's unable to do so. And the thing is, all of these guys have to stop. Lewis Craig on the fresher rubber should get past. Oh, and they're side by side, Ross and Lewis is in the wall and lost some wing plate. I just hope he doesn't lose the head here, and he's going to have to stop. He's got no end plates on the car. This has not been the cleanest of laps from the drivers. And it just so happens that they're all Dive Bomb members, unfortunately. All this does is help Jake, who's running a fine Grand Prix, 7th place on merit. I mean, Lewis has stopped, but other than that, everyone else is sort of behind him as Jess Ball now passes Daniel. Yeah, as I was saying, Jake running his own race. He's quite far ahead of Lewis, quite far behind Daniel, and a lonely race. I think that's Lewis going to next to call it quits, and he is. Yeah, Jake doing a good job. Guaranteed points now if he can get to lap 17. Well, this is a good points haul coming his way. If it stays like this and he makes no mistakes and picks up no penalties. Not as many penalties as I thought there would be as Daniel. Jess is in the wall. I think she spun it on her own there. I don't think Daniel hit her. And if she doesn't get back on track quickly, this could lead to a safety car, but she might have to stop. She's got on away. Red Bull driving the Lotus. Disappointing for her. She was running a good Grand Prix in 5th, looking for some solid points. And lost an end plate as well. So that is her coming into the pits. It's Calm now. Is ahead of Kieran. We missed that. Apologies. And what could have been if he started at the front of the field? Would have been on for a massive result. Fastest lap from Calm now. 2.4 to Casper Klein. Is this the Grand Prix we need? Can he drag the likes of Kieran and Bavester to Casper? That would be fantastic if we could. Jake picks up a penalty after me saying he's not picked up a penalty and done really well. But he's ahead of Jess and got plenty of time to Ross. Calm now, 2.1. He's closing in that gap to Casper. And you imagine Casper might go into a bit of battery saving mode in the next few moments. Because here comes Calm. Under 2 seconds now, that gap. This is 100% the lead, the battle for the Grand Prix. And, well, he's up 11 places and he's on the hard. So he's going long in this Grand Prix, hoping there's no safety cars. Get onto the medium compound tyre and go to the end. Alternate strategies for the top two. Pace looking good for both. And Casper might not be vulnerable at this phase, but could be later on. But Kai is doing a good job of hanging on to Calm. And I believe that the pit stops are going to come around lap 15 for the top guys. That is sort of the pace. Daniel Pibiona into the pits now. And we'll see. This will be the first pit stop we witness. The service, mediums off, hard compounds on. He'll try go to the end. It'll be a big ask for Daniel. But should be able to. I think it was 15 laps. It was about 50%. Might struggle, but we'll see how it goes. Calm rules. That's because Scottish Goat's in the pits. It looks like Evil Dragon has passed Kai, and Evil Dragon's actually running the same livery. Or is he? I think it's a very similar livery, but I think Kai's is a Cyber, and I think Evil Dragon's gone for a McLaren, like a 2015, 2016 McLaren. 1.6, the gap out front. And the moment I say that, he ekes out another 2 attempts. So lap 12 of 35. It's Casper that has the advantage by 1.9 seconds. He's on 12 lap old mediums, whereas Calm is on 12 lap old hards. He's gone 13 positions gained. Does Calm? Can he gain another and pick up a win? Bavester in the pits. On to the mediums he goes. I think that's medium, is it? So he's 2 stopping in this Grand Prix. Well, this is it. Maybe the 1 stop isn't the way to go. It will be for Calm, because he'll take the hards long. But he'll be the kind of judge. Casper will know, really, as Kai's dropped off a bit. Casper will know what the strategy is. But Cam, if he can get to lap 20, he'll definitely go to the end. Casper, he needs to get to about lap 15. He's kind of safe from any undercuts on drivers. He's just got to really think about Cam and what he's doing. And if there's a safety car, it's advantage Casper. It's interesting that the Grand Prix, it's not usually out front, it's everyone's on the mediums. As Kai's into the pits for a set of mediums as well. So he is definitely two-stopping as Bavesser undercuts Kai. Kai tried to cover him off but wasn't able to do so, and these two are two-stopping in the Grand Prix. They've got medium, so they're going to go till about lap 24 and go on to the hards. As Daniel P. Wheelnut gets ahead of Ross and Daniel going to the end. Kamke, he started about 11th, and he's doing a good job here up in 7th place with drivers still to pit ahead of him and no penalties. The front wing doing some wonders for the guys out in front. Yeah, that gap's sort of gone from 1.5 at certain points of the lap to 2 seconds at this point in the lap, and the tyres are going off for both drivers. It's just Casper's are going off a lot quicker. We'll see what the Sector 1 time is for Casper and compare it to Cam. We won't have much time to move it. But Casper Klein, as he comes up to 21.5. Yeah, it's 7 tenths is what Cam's picking up in that first sector. No, it was a bit of a moment there for Cam, and he'll lose a couple of tenths there. Managed to keep her on the road though, and it is critical for these two to not pick up time penalties, especially with Kai kicking around. It's a couple of tenths each lap. The gap does extend at certain points of the track, but every lap that goes on, the extension gets less and less. It was 2 seconds. It went to 1.8 last lap. This lap, the highest it's been is 1.5. It's going to around about 2 seconds now as Casper stays, and this will be his 15th lap once he gets going. And he's led 13 of them here in the Sauber. And Cam in the test. Red Bull, what can he do in the long term? It's the long game for him. As Kai picks up a time penalty behind Bavesser. As Kamke now gets past Ross and is up into 6th place and is now going to try chase down Daniel P. Wheelnut. So Casper's saving a bit of the battery, a bit better than Cam. That is basically what this regulation is all about. Tyre wear and battery management are the keys to victory, and I'm not very good at either. Casper has been perfect most of the season at both. Picked up a win in rounds 1 and another win in round 2. He picked up a win technically on the road in round 3, but dropped after a time penalty. And there we go, Casper is in. So critical moments in this Grand Prix. He needs to get in, get serviced quickly by the boys, and get back out. He needs critical outlap as well. And for Cam, this is it now. Push to overtake for Cam. Shouldn't be able to overtake one with the undercut that Casper will have and the fresh rubber, but it's how far back will he be? And then on the medium on the exit, push to overtake, and he'll be behind Bavesser and Kai. Kai is ahead of Bavesser now. Oh no, he's just got out ahead actually. Sneaked ahead, and Cam's picked up a penalty. Oh, that's what critical moments I said for both drivers. And in the critical moment, when the pressure boiled, the reserve wasn't able to keep it in between the white lines. And that might just end any hope of someone else winning this Grand Prix at the halfway mark. Absolutely gutted for New Zealand, Cam. Kai. put pressure on Casper. Can he make him wear out those hard compound tyres earlier than he would like to do so? Using the battery, he's got no boost. Kai will have boost on Casper on the next lap, but that's if he stays within the margin. He does. So boost mode active, or maybe not. The race now the pit stops have started to come through this sort of phase. It's started to settle down. Casper's taken 1.1 out of calm on that lap, and the penalties are starting to rack up now as the drivers start to get a bit worn down and get a bit edgy and lose a bit of the focus. They need to sort of reset themselves and go again for the second phase, pick up a second wind. And now if you're calm, you were looking like you're going to win or have an opportunity at the win. You'll have better rubber, but you'll need to pick up at least 3 seconds. We're hearing from Lewis that Casper is on 2 warnings, so he is going to, the next time he leaves the white lines, he will pick up a black and white flag, just like his car. And Lewis Craig being the race control in the YouTube chat, so we appreciate that from him. He'll keep us up to date on anything we need to know. As Kai sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 12.7. Very quick lap for the Grand Prix. As the Aston teammates Jake and Evil Dragon battling away, Scottish Goat trying to get past as well, but Evil Dragon will do what he can to hold up Scottish Goat. He's doing a fine job in helping his teammate, try to get his teammate far ahead, but they're not able to really escape. Jake will try to get far ahead, but here comes Scottish Goat in the McLaren now, up into P10. And Evil Dragon will try go round the outside very late on the brakes. Brave from him, and we love to see that. It was late, but it was safe, and wasn't able to make the move, but might be able. Jess has got no front wing either. What is going on at Lotus and Renault? Oh, and Cam, that was almost into the wall of champions there. The tank slapper on the back there. 10 seconds now, the gap. There's Casper Klein now on the back straight. 10 seconds, that gap out in front. What can he do to put the pressure on? Scottish Goat on the back of Jake on the back straight. Coming through 12, now down towards 13 and 14. On the back straight, using the straight mode. Will that be enough to get him past into turn 1? No. Renault 2019 Canada edition. That is it, folks. No wings. No wings, Renault. And I mean, to be fair, Jessica Ball's car, they were in administration in 2012 and probably couldn't afford to make a front wing at certain points in the season, and it looks like she's ran out of front wings and she's going to have to stop taking £50,000 for every point that she scores. But here we go. Scottish Goat now right on the back as Casper Klein sets the fastest lap. 12.3. That's a very quick lap. That's a second quicker than his previous lap. This is him in go mode now to try and put even more pressure on Cam. Scottish Goat trying to put pressure on Jake. Rhino doesn't give you wings. Well, they didn't have a chance to give Lewis the wing. He rage quit. And if I was in my other league where I drive, our commentator, who's got the funniest reactions to when, like, sound bites for when people do certain things and retire in the pit lane and crashed the car. It is top tier, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check out NMX at some point in your life, because the streams are absolutely hilarious, and you get to see me drive, which is hilarious as well, because I'm so bad. Scottish Goat, though, on the back of Jake. Still, he's been on the back of Jake for a long time, and Jake will be wanting him to shift from the back of there. Bavesser picks up another penalty. I believe that is 6 seconds now. That gap's just under 7 seconds now between the top two. Casper and Cam struggling out in front is Cam at the moment. The tyres will be absolutely gone, but he'll want to get the mediums to go as long as they can, or he's hoping for a safety car and get a free pit stop. Oh, what a lock-up that was. Into the hairpin as Cam and Ross are into the pits. Cam is serviced and out, and Ross was serviced before we got to the pit lane. Someone that's been doing a fantastic job is Daniel Wheelner. He's won a Grand Prix in DBF1 before, a couple of wins in Dive Bomb F2. He's been quiet this race. We've not spoken about him much after the first 5 laps where he had the battles with Lewis. But he's 4 seconds ahead of Cam, who's got a time penalty. He's basically a pit stop behind the guys in front of him, which is understandable, considering their pace. But at the moment, he's looking pretty safe for a P5 finish, and that's Professor in and back out. So your race winner in Saudi Arabia a fortnight ago is 2 stopping, and he will have Daniel P. Wheelnet behind him. And Daniel, who's been on those tyres since lap 11, you won't imagine will put any pressure on the top 4. And Daniel probably won't stop again unless there is a safety car. There we go, that gap, 4 seconds now on Cam, as Cam is overtaking Kaya. And there you go, Cam came into the pits now. That might just, with the penalties on Scottish Goat and Jake, who are battling away, that might actually allow Daniel P. Wheelnut to come into the pits and put on a fresh shed of rubber. And that's Cam calling it a day on lap 22. And he will go mediums to the end. Doubtful that he will catch Casper on the road with just how long he stayed out on those hards. Unfortunate what could have been if he started at the front. Yeah, Daniel 16.6 ahead of Jake, who has time penalties. We'd come out behind the likes of Jake and Scottish Goat. But if he's going to box, with Cam came on fresh mediums, it's not this lap, it would have to be the next, but he might just stay out. He knows he's got that 16-second gap. He can now tyre save and just coast his way to the end, really. Not put any pressure on those tyres, just take it smooth, use the boost when he needs to. And I tell you what, if he picked up 12 points and 5th place in Dive Bomb, in this day and age, I know he's been a runner-up in Dive Bomb in the past when we had the pace cap, and he's won a Grand Prix. But a top 5, he'd absolutely love that Daniel P. Wheelnet. And it might take his consideration into being in... Sorry, my speech is gone. It might take his nomination being in Dive Bomb F2 Season 3 in November out of consideration. It might not be there come the end of the season if the pace continues, but he's done a fantastic job. And the likes of Lewis and Jenga Boy Cam Rules having a bad race, that allows drivers to have moments, and Daniel and Jake are doing what they can to achieve that. Cam K on fresh boots should get past Jake eventually, and I think that's Jake really moving out the way. Jake's battle is with Scottish Goat. No, he went wide and got a good run. Jake not giving up that place too easy, and even though Cam has fresh rubber, not wanting to do that, and they gave Cam the full wing this pit stop. Wait, maybe more downforce. Maybe that's why he's got such a good run on the start-finish. He goes right, he goes left, and he goes down the inside of the Aston Martin driver, who tries to hold it on his hards, but he's not able to do so. Scottish go into the pit lane, and now Kamke around here outside second in the championship. Won't be after tonight. What a move that was, and Jake did everything possible to defend it. Absolutely beautiful from 6th and 7th, and Cam was able to get up there on fresh rubber. Great defence from Jake though on old hard compound tyres, and Cam now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. The gap to leader is 9.6, 11 tours to go. Can he close up? He'll definitely close up to... Oh, he's got another penalty. That's 6, and the race is 100% over now, unless Casper basically crashes out. Oh, nightmare. Casper on 2 warnings, possibly pick up a 3rd, and then you never know. It might be to the race to the line, but no, not able to do so. Kai's got a penalty, and I believe Kai has to stop again. I think he went medium. He started on the medium share, so he's got to stop. That's Daniel in the pits. He's come out behind Cam K-Man. He's right on him with no time penalty as well. So, fresh rubber for the 09 and 010 Renault. And it's the Audi versus the Ferrari. Couple of laps. Fresher rubber for Daniel. Doesn't have the tyre life degradation that Cam will have, that he was behind Jake. I think Ross and Cam Rules are starting to see Jake and hope that that is someone that they can put into their sights. As Cam now passes Kai on for his first podium of the season, which he dearly needs. He picked up 4th place in Saudi, missed out on a top 3 finish due to time penalties. He had his 10-second penalty removed, but not his 3-second. Oh, Cam, very squirrely on the back end. That back end just doesn't like being on the road. And that's Jake now into the pits. And where will that drop? Jake will stick with him. Behind Jess, behind Scottish Goat maybe. An Evil Dragon and Kaya. Yep, behind Scottish Goat, behind Evil Dragon. Not behind Kaya though. It's a Jake in 12th. We've mentioned him a few times this Grand Prix having a good race. He does have 9 laps on fresh mediums to put pressure on these guys, and you'd imagine Jake would be able to do that. He's on for a good result, maybe a top 10. He'd be happy with that. Jess living a lonely race in 9th place. What could have been without the crash, and then a bad start again. I'm not sure if she got bogged down or if she got caught up in an incident. It went from 6th place all the way down to 12th. As Cam rails on the back of Ross. Down the back straight, using a bit of the boost. 5 temps is the gap, 4 temps is the gap. Will it be 3 temps before we get to the start-finish straight? It is. Through 13 and 14 now, he's using the boost mode, trying to get ahead of Ross into turn 1, and Cam Rules is able to do so. Lovely driving from the pair. Daniel Pugliona has dropped out of the boost. He's now 1.1 back, but does have the... We'll quickly check the penalties. 3 seconds, so he's back within a second now, and has the advantage that he doesn't need to finish ahead of Cam, just within 3 seconds, and he'll pick up P5. Sylvester's done his 2-stop. Kai hasn't. He kind of needs to stop again. He's going to really be settling for 4th now, you'd imagine. Although fresh rubber, the tyre deficit, 3 seconds penalty less than Bevesser. Could still be on for his first podium of the season, Kai. Been a solid race. A P3 and a pole. I think he'd be happy with that after sort of his form and sort of times that he's been putting in the practice lobbies throughout the weeks of the opening rounds of the season. Obviously, next week we head to Austria for the 5th round of the DBF1 Championship. I don't believe we have any sort of crazy things happening. We do have some. Yeah, Austria is just a normal Grand Prix, and then Madrid after that, normal Grand Prix, as Kai now does come into the pits. Yeah, so Austria normal Grand Prix, Madrid's a normal, Monaco's a normal, but if you finish the Grand Prix, no matter where you finish, you'll get an extra 2 points. Monza's next, that's a reverse championship standing with 100%. Race 10 is full qualifying with a 35% race, and then round 11 is grouped qualifying, which we've seen in Monza, where the drivers will have a time slot allocated. They need to complete their lap or begin their lap in that time slot, otherwise they will get a grid penalty. Casper didn't set his, he got a 3-place grid penalty. He started on pole and went to 4th. That won't happen this season at Belgium. If you qualify or miss your slot or don't go out on track in your slotted qualifying time, you will be disqualified from qualifying, so you'll start last. Daniel now putting the pressure severely onto Cam K. It's been about 5/10, the majority of the lap previous. And we're just halfway through lap 29. We're about to start lap 30. Yeah, there you go. Lap 30 has begun. We've got 6 laps left. It's absolutely flown by without a safety car here. But then we said that last week, and the safety car came out just towards the end of the session. It gave us 1 lap of Grand Prix racing, did the safety car last time. 1 Grand Prix lap. That was absolute carnage. If you've not seen it after this Grand Prix, make sure you go check out the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And if you missed Japan and missed Britain, go check them out as well. All the Grand Prix this season have been fantastic. And will this Grand Prix, it was a fantastic beginning. It's been a dull sort of second stint. But what will it be on the second go here between Ross and Cam Rules? Will it be as entertaining as the first, as they begin their final 6 laps, and Cam has enough to stay ahead as Jake and Evil Dragon swap places? Jake now 2.8 behind Scottish Goat. Work to do with 6 laps to go for Jake. Try and put the pressure on and see if he can get ahead of Scottish Goat. Now gets past Jessica Ball. And with time penalties, I don't think Jess will be too worried about that, but she'll be struggling on those hard. I think she's 1 stopped. Has Jess? Who has 1 stopped? Jess is 1 stopped, Ross is 1 stopped, the top 2 have 1 stopped. Tough race for her. It's been a tough season for the TGP2 season 37 champion. Multiple Grand Prix wins in DBF1, struggling to adjust to life on F1 26 after such solid seasons on F1 25 and Dive Bomb F1, and then the championship on F1 24 on TGP2. And there you go, Casper has his time penalty. Overtaking back markers, he picks it up. Interesting to see as he gets past Jessica Ball now. So Ross gets past Cam into turn 13, puts it over the sausage grip and almost into the wall, and that will mean that Cam Rules will get back past him with a bit of the boost. Yes, it does. Daniel struggling here. 1.8 seconds adrift. He knows what he needs to do. Three seconds is the target. And with 4 laps to go, he's doing that at the moment. So, penalties. 3 and 6 out in front yet. So Casper, 3 seconds. Cam needs to close that 6 seconds and then overtake him and get 3 seconds ahead. That is definitely not going to happen in the time remaining. And of course, back in Season 5, Darky was leading the Grand Prix and then hit the wall. We hope that doesn't happen this time. Quite upset for Cam. The penalties have cost him. Starting at the back has cost him. What if he didn't start 13th? He would have definitely been a bit closer to Casper. Had the pace. Has had the pace in the mediums. He's closed up the gap very well, but maybe the consistency not there, not league racing that much. Only been a reserve for Dive Bomb. The second round of the season after being disqualified in Britain. Unfairly, might I add, took away a podium from him as Jake gets ahead of Jessica Ball, and now Evil Dragon looking to also get ahead of Jessica Ball. Evil not able to do so, but Jake did. Into the top 10 goes Jake. Double points again for the Aston Martin, and they get ahead of Jess, and Jess, the one stop just not gone her way. Struggling to hang on, but maybe she thinks if she two stops, she'll be even further down than this. You got a feel for her. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in Formula One. Kai, 4 attempts now on Bavesser, looking to try and steal that podium away. And Jess and Daniel, the only drivers, and Kaya as well, as only drivers without time penalties here tonight. Oh no, Kaya did have penalties. Yeah, Daniel PB on Jess, the only drivers with no time penalties. Here comes Kai for the final step on the podium. McLaren driver looking to try and get McLaren's first podium of season 8. Should be able to get this job done as we're on the penultimate lap of the Canadian Grand Prix, the first Grand Prix of the season without a safety car involvement. And I'm interested to see what Jenga Boy, what caused him to drop. It is on the stream, and I did miss it, unfortunately. I was having a wee look at the notes, and then seeing he was in 9th. Kai doing everything possible to try and steal the podium away from Bavesser, but I'm pretty sure no matter what, yeah, it's 3 seconds, he's within that, but here he goes on the car ahead, on the soft tires as well, actually gets ahead of Bavesser, and that's him on the podium, and surely should pick up the podium place. But on the start-finish straight, sorry, Bavesser might be able to have a go at Kai again here. Maybe try to force him into making a mistake and picking up a time, but now, whoa, almost forced himself into the back of the engine cover and the rear wing, and that would have been a disaster. That was very McLaren 25 looking, and Kieran obviously usually in the McLaren. Casper now on his final wee run though. Bavesser running out of laps, running out of corners. He needs Kieran to pick up a penalty and be behind him. But what can you say? 4 wins in a row. Lost the win last week to a penalty. Extends his lead as the most Grand Prix victories in DBF1. Casper Klein wins the Canadian Grand Prix and extends his championship lead. Cam will finish second on his return to Dive Bomb Sports and his first podium in almost, I think it's 7,000 days, near enough now. Kieran gets his first podium of the season. Bavesser came home in 4th. Cam is going to finish on the road in 5th, but at the moment, without any penalties, Daniel P. Wheelnut will steal 5th away, and we'll see if that comes to fruition. But what a drive from Casper Klein. Led almost every lap there was to lead after pitting. I'm very sorry if you just heard my elbow crack. Cam now round the final couple of corners. Second in the championship, that'll disappear. And Seoul is 5th place. It's Daniel P. Wheelnut in 5th. Cam K. Mam in 6th. Cam Rules in 7th with Ross in 8th. And then the rest were laps, so I'll run through what the order for those guys was. Jessica Ball finished in 9th behind Ross. As that man once again celebrates on the top step of the podium. Casper Klein, I believe that's 16 Grand Prix victory for him in DBF1. Fantastic driving from the champion, the defending champion. The streak has never ever been broken of no champion defending the crown. We've never had a two-time champion. And ladies and gentlemen, it just looks like that might be happening for us. So, in 9th place was Jess Evil Dragon in 10th. Good result for him. Jake in 11th. Well done to Jake, the Aston Martin boys, 10th and 11th. Scottish Goat 12th. Kaya in 13th rounded out the finishers with Lewis Craig and Jenga Boy. Both DNFing from the Grand Prix. Lewis did not do enough laps to score his point either, unfortunately, for him. But that has been DBF1. It's been another fantastic Grand Prix, and I can't wait to see you next week for the Austrian Grand Prix. I've been Jack Craig, this has been Dive Bomb Sports, and we'll see you next time on Sports DB TV.